Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a 113. It's a Chinese Tier 10 heavy tank. It's located on the south spawn of Lakeville and it's under the command of Filipperino. Game started. Well, I can tell you that this tank actually has a 122mm gun with 440 alpha, and he's loaded mostly heat rounds for this battle. And what's unusual is that there is some very interesting enemies in this game. A couple of streamers, yes, Dakilzor and Yizny are both in this game. That's why I put the names up so you could see exactly who's in what. And yep, they're in the definitely not a streamer 1 and definitely not a streamer 4, the Object 279E. But yes, they're up against a superior player here in the form of Filipperino, and he's put a round into the E4 straight away. Using the heat ammo, he can do that. It's got good penetration, 340mm. Goes for the top of the Super Conch, but it hits the bursting plates and doesn't do any damage. But he's still trying to get that cupola. Nope, that one ricocheted off. Now we've seen Filipperino's pull some interesting moves at this position on the map, and there's one of the 279Es. Definitely not a streamer. Yep, they are actually streaming at this moment. I believe they're actually at one of the conventions, either Twitch convention or one of the other ones. Still trying to go for the top of that Super Conch and fails to get it again, and the mouse is now trying to get involved. Okay, can we get it shots in? Yes, he does this time. 465, pulls back. The mouse would like to get a word in. Going for the Super Conch again. And that one didn't pen. Okay, here comes the 279Es again. And we bounce the Super Conch. And this time round we get him again. Getting some nice rolls actually as well. High rolls. Yep. Oh, it didn't go in. There's one of the 279s, and we put one straight through his front plates at the wrong angle, you see. Easy to pen if you get the right angle. And there's another one in. And these guys are professional streamers, Dakilzor and Yizny, and they are both being owned by Filipperino. He's got the Super Conch again. And well, that T110E4 has gone to the wrong place altogether. He's just had a round straight through his lower plate, and he's trying to get Filipperino, but it's not the right place to be. Now you're a wreck. He's back in the garage. Okay, just look at the way he's owning this pass. The enemy just can't get through, and every time they try, they just get absolutely hit. It's perfect play, you see. He hasn't lost any hit points to the enemy at all yet. Not that he won't lose some hit points, but he's certainly going to own this pass and own those streamers. Yeah, they are streaming at this moment as this was going on, but he wasn't stream sniping. And there's 279, and he bounces the round from that 279, but he doesn't pen it. Here's the Super Conch. And that one doesn't go through. He's got nice angle. Oh, the first damage it receives from an Arty shows that Arty can still get you. Nope, that one didn't go through. Okay, loaded. And he gets that one through the Super Conch, who's now one shot. Or is he? No, he's still a two shot. Just holding back for a second. Now, I can promise you, Filipperino was not stream sniping. He absolutely confirms he definitely wasn't stream sniping at all during this game. And, well, really it'd be a bit difficult to stream snipe when you're up in a pass like this. And the enemy's also up in the pass. because you're facing off against each other. What use would having this thing on stream at this time? none at all. 279, thank you very much. And, oh, no, he didn't get it through. Wrong angle on that one. He's got 8 rounds of heat ammo left, and then he's going to be dipping into the AP and the HE. It's a very difficult shot, but he puts one through the Super Conk, and he's now one shot. There's the... Oh, is that Jaegeru down there? I think it is. Okay, we've got the concrete gun carriage by the side. Yep. It's a pity it was a heat round, but it's still some damage. And I think the Super Conk just took a round from the enemy Arty as well, or from our Arty. And here comes one of the streamers. I can't tell you which one is which, but I do know it's Dak or Yisni. And he's doing his trick again. He showed us how to do this a while back. You actually climb up on top of the rock, and so long as there's no Arty, you can do this without getting badly damaged and shoot down on your enemy. Super Conk killed, and he blocked a shot from a 279E. And here comes the AMX-50. And he puts a round into him, but this time round, he did take a round from the 50B. Okay, 279 puts a round into him. He is taking some damage at last, but he's decided to get behind them, and yeah, takes out one of the streamers. Don't know which one that was, but one of them's down, and he's put a ram onto the the 50B. Puts a round into his engine bay. Now firing the standard AP because he will go through the AMX-50B with standard ammo. There's only 2 enemies left, this 50B and an Arty. So he's going to town on him. He's the last one. And that's a kill. And that wins the game. 2 top players totally owned by Filipperino. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for this one. And it's an ace tanker for Delphine Filipperino in the 113. He managed to get a spotter for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage in that game. While he was occupying that pass, he was allowing his teammates to get shots on the enemy on the tanks that he was spotting. A shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. A duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him during the game. And a Pfeiffer effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. And he also got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. And that was against 279Es, would you believe it? Of the streamers, well, he took one of them. He got one of the streamers you saw there. Definitely not a streamer 4. Don't know which one that was, but the other one was definitely not a streamer 1. And one of them was Isney, and the other one was Dak Killzilla. And let's have a look at the team scores. Well, we can see that the highest damage was done by Delphine Filipperino with 6,604 hit points in that game. And the next high score was the IS-7 with 3,354. And after that, it was the Object 430U with 3,271. So where were these streamers? Yes, well, they were on the enemy team. There's one of them. The streamer number 1, who managed to get 2,463. And streamer number 2, or number 4 rather, who did 1,292 out of that game. When it came to kills, it was the IS-7 who did best. He got 4 kills. Delphine Filipperino managed to get 3, and then there's a couple of tanks who managed to get 2 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, it was Filipperino with 1,231 base experience points. 1,018 goes to the IS-7, and 898 goes to the Patton. He fired 28 rounds in that game, most of it heat ammo, 24 direct hits, 16 penetrations. He had difficulty with that Super Conk. 1 splash as well, that was from the enemy Arty, or no, I think he fired that one. 6,604 hit points of damage, of which 177 were at more than 300 meters. That was the shot I think he fired at the Super Conk. He received 9 hits from the enemy, 2 were penetrations, 7 non-penetrations, and 2 hits as a result of splash damage, and 2,920 hit points of damage blocked. He spotted 4 enemy vehicles, damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 3 of them, and did 1,255 hit points of damage assist, or spotting assist. On a premium count, he earned 96,602 credits, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he actually made a small loss, 40,852 credits. Well, you might say that's not a small loss, that's a big loss. But when you can remember that Filiperino actually earns a fortune in strongholds and clan wars, yes, that's not a very big amount. He can easily make up those credits in no time at all. And he picked up 1,847 XP, and there was no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he actually took away. But yes, this was a very good example of how a very good player in a decent tank. The 113 is a very nice little tank, and it can really hold the enemy back. He really owned the valley. The enemy just could not get past the center point, and every time they tried, they got badly damaged. And it was only that Supercock that was actually holding Filiperino back from actually doing even more damage to them. I think he would have taken both 279Es if he'd had the chance, but he only got one of them in the end. But we don't know which one it was, but I'm sure that Filiperino will explain to us which one it was, and it must have been really funny seeing that on stream afterwards. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button so you don't miss a really great replay like this when it comes up. Thanks for watching.